So I'm with Mary Fellows, Mayor of Hay. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
You've just come back from a lovely holiday. Tell me about it.
Yes, we spent 12 weeks going around the world on a cruise. In the warmth, and left you all in Hay, I'm very sorry to say, when it was cold. We had a very good time, and now we're ready to spend the next 9 months working hard.
Excellent. Whereabouts did you go?
We went through the Mediterranean, through the Suez Canal, that's what I was trying to think about, and India, all the Pacific Islands, Australia, New Zealand, more islands, and back up to San Francisco and flew home from there.
It sounds very nice. You've come back relaxed and refreshed.
Oh yes, ready to face the world again.
Good. Did you miss much while you were away?
You mean miss much in Hay?
Yes.
Apparently everybody was all very busy when I was away. It took me some time to catch up on it all, reading all the various emails that had been sent. I think I'm up to speed again now. And,
Lovely.
We're all going forward in the right direction and looking forward to the coming elections on the 2nd of May.
Excellent. So you're standing again for Town Council?
Yes, I am, yes.
How long have you been mayor?
Oh, just this is the end of my 2nd term of office.
But you've been a councillor for much longer, haven't you?
I think it's about 16 years.
Right, that is a long term. Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, every minute of it. I would have gone if I hadn't.
Right.
And if I hadn't thought I was doing good for the people of the town and what the people of the town wanted, I would have gone long ago.
I noticed that you're also standing as county councillor candidate for Bulk. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, that was a last-minute affair. Someone had agreed to stand who at the time hadn't got a job. Fortunate for him, he got a job last minute and had to back down when all the papers were gone in. So basically, I'm a paper candidate only.
I see. So you're hoping that you don't get elected?
I have got no chance of getting elected whatsoever.
I see. Do you think you have a chance of being elected in Hay?
I hope so. I would like to think that my track record will stand with me. Because, as I said, I would like to carry on at least for another, this is a 5-year session, the next one, for another 5 years to complete some of the things that I want to complete. That the reason why I stood for Hay in the first place. Well, one of my strong feelings was when I first got started was I wanted to see a new school in Hay, and I wanted to see a community centre and a youth facility for the teenagers and younger people of the town. And it's taken an awful long time, but perhaps I can see the end of the tunnel, and that's why I'm hoping that in the next 5 years they will both come to full fruition. And I strongly would like to be there at the end, because I was there at the beginning.
I see. So you obviously love local politics, to have been involved for this length of time. What was it initially that made you want to stand for Town Council?
I got involved with the school as school governor. I've been a school governor ever since. And once you get involved with one section, you're on one committee, you seem to be a sitting duck for everyone else in the town to say, oh, will you come and join our committee? And hence the council, I was asked to join the council. And during the time I've been on there, I think I'm right, I've only had to be in election once.
Right.
You just carried on. Cause in fact, no one wanted to stand. You were actually tracing up people to want to stand. And I think actually this year it probably is a very healthy situation that we've suddenly got an election and the people in Hay can have their choice. If I get on, I would be very happy, as I said, for the reasons stated. But if I don't, I shall feel, well, the people in Hay have had enough of me and it's time for a change. But it will be a good idea to have some new faces, because when the next 5 years comes up, some more of the older ones will be dropping off and the new ones will then be experienced, and then they can have some more new people. And this is what should have happened a lot more over the years.
Yes.
But people in Hay have shown absolutely no interest in the council for the last, I'd say, 20 years.
Right. And we haven't had an election for 12 years now.
Is that long, is it?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, so, what would be your preferred outcome from the next election then? You'd like to see a mix of old faces and new faces?
I would like to see both on there, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see people with strong views individually of what they want.
Right.
Because that brings a better council. Because I know there are one or two people who are very keen on the younger element. And a lot have got strong views about the community centre and the school. And other people like the fabric of Hay. There's so many aspects of the town council that we need people to be interested in them all. It's no good being focused on one thing and one thing only. We have to be a complete package.
Yes. For a while now, you've been one of only 2 female councillors. How's that been for you?
Well, when there was just Fiona and myself, I think the men thought, oh, well, we know where their place is. But Fiona's actually been mayor, and I've been mayor twice. And I think the men are very aware of what their place is now.
I see. What do you think we could do to encourage more women to get involved in local politics?
That's a difficult one. Because as soon as you get involved in politics on any level, it means giving up a lot of time. It's not just one council meeting a month. It's all the subcommittees, the meetings you have to go to, etc. And I think this is why we don't get a lot of women, because if they're bringing up children, it's very difficult to say, oh, sorry, I can't meet you today, I've got a meeting to go to. And it is harder for women, I believe. And consequently, I think that is why you find that when there are women on, they're usually 40 pluses, even though that's still very young.
But that's another dynamic of the council, isn't it? That it is dominated by older people.
Yes.
Is there a reason for that, do you think? Is it just that they have more free time?
I think basically, if you go back 20, 30 years, councillors were basically business people of Hay, because they were the only ones that could get time off from work during the daytime.
Right.
I think that's the background to it. But over the years, it has widened, and it's good. You know, anybody can stand on that council, and but it is more difficult for people who are employed to have. I mean, we have had some horrendous months when you seem to spend 30, 40 hours a week, or a month, sorry, on council work. Well,
right.
No employer is going to stand for all that, are they? And it's very difficult if you can't be what I consider a full member of the council, if you haven't got the time.
Right.
You know, so, oh, sorry, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, it then falls on other, obviously willing people. But I think if you're going to commit yourself to the council, you have to realise that it is just not one meeting a month. And it can be, on certain times of the year, very hard going.
Yes. I know that you wanted to use this film as an opportunity to respond to some criticism that was levelled at you recently on the Life in Hay blog. Would you like to say something about that now?
Yes. We did pass briefly over the fact that I've been away for 3 months on holidays. As most people in Hay would probably appreciate, John and myself, we run several tourist-related businesses. So once the end of March comes, we spend 9 months working basically 7 days a week for 9 months. So it's easier to have joint holidays in a block. We close down our bed and breakfast and our holiday cottages and the bookshop which I run, I've got staff can remain open. So it is, for practical reasons, it's easier to do it that way. I did feel very guilty this year leaving Peter Lloyd, the Deputy Mayor, in charge, not because he couldn't do it, because he did a very, very good job and he's an absolute brilliant deputy. But he had a very difficult time and he coped with it pretty well, and I'm very proud of him. He has decided to retire for health reasons, and he did feel that the town, or part of the town, was leaning very heavily on himself and the council. I don't think that was the main reason he left, and I did feel rather guilty for leaving him. But if you're on the council, you're entitled to your holidays as well. And whereas I'm available 7 days a week, all the rest of the year, other people are having a fortnight now or long weekends. So if you actually work it out, I didn't disappear any longer, and I left the council in very good hands. And I do think some of the injustices that have been, scrap that bit, that's the wrong word, comments that have been levelled at the council and myself were slightly unfounded. I've been woken up at 12 o'clock at night with people can't even get in through their front doors. What that's got to do with the mayor or the council of the town, I'm quite unawares. But and then you, at 8:30 in the morning, you have somebody complaining about rats in the lay-by. It's a very time-consuming job, and I feel that the whole time I've been on the council, and especially the last 2 years I've been there, I've given it 100%. And I do feel very uncomfortable with the people that have levelled those comments at me.
Thank you for that response, Mary. We can use the last few minutes of the film for you to deliver your own little party political broadcast. Why should we vote for you, Mary Fellows?
Well, I think you should. I would like you to vote for me, because I hope that you feel that I've done a good job on the council in the last 16 years I've been on. I've been very active with the school, and I've watched the school develop. I've been involved with things like the skateboard park in town, which disappeared over the years. I think it was a passing fancy, and now we have a BMX bike trail where the skateboard park was, and get involved with the this is going to be awful now. The youth club, and I've watched the children grow up in Hay, and they hang around the streets, and some of them do get into mischief and annoy the residents, but basically they've got nowhere to go. Some of them feel the youth club isn't quite what they want as they start to get older.
Yeah.
And I am passionate to get them a building, a new one they can be proud of, that has perhaps a coffee bar with music in, that they can be open 6, perhaps 7 days a week, somewhere where they can call their own, and I've got, instead of hanging around the corners of the streets. And I think we're more likely to get useful teenagers than annoying ones. I've also done an awful lot of work with the senior people in town. I've been involved ever since the beginning of Hay Dial-A-Ride, and I've been very proud of that. And as the transport problems rural have seemed to have got worse over the years, we are now looking to see if we can provide a service for all the people in Hay who haven't got transport, or temporarily haven't got transport. So another thing I would like to continue. I just like seeing Hay evolve. I've lived in and around Hay all my life, and if you look from one end of Castle Street to the other, there probably isn't a shop there now that was there when I was young.
Yeah.
But things had to change, and we've seen the book trade develop, and we've all perhaps thought, even though I've got a bookshop, oh gosh, Hay's full of too many bookshops. but then a few of those have dropped off, and we've developed. I want to be part of Hay Baldwin, and I would like to think that when my term of office finishes in Hay, I would have improved Hay, but with the blessing of the townspeople. I would not like to be part of anything in Hay that isn't what the town wants. Not exactly what I want, what the town wants, because that's who we work for. Not ourselves, not for glorification, for the people of Hay.
Thank you very much indeed, Mary Fellows.